Hello guys, and this is going to be a very important video, so please be attentive and remember not to be surprised if Russia collapses faster than we hope for that. First of all, Russian railway monopolist reported record-breaking cargo losses. They don't have products left to transport, all because Russian economy right now is working just for war. Another proof they are not prepared for peace or ceasefire, but also a proof they have troubles in the industry and economy. To make the situation brighter, another Russian company, actually the largest shipping company, reported tremendous losses in hundreds of millions, and no, not rubles, but dollars. I guess oil prices, sanctions, and this bad Russian character. Fewer and fewer countries are ready to cooperate with this criminal regime. And we still remember problems they have with airspace. They have to close Russian airports all the time because of the Ukrainian drones visiting dozens of Russian regions to demilitarize evil objects there. Also, sanctions led to problems with the maintenance of their aircraft, and let's be honest, Russian air defense is very dangerous for Russians. They quite often target airplanes, and that is a problem for Russia, for the world. But all these problems with railway, with shipping, with aviation signal tremendous systemic problems inside Russia, both in the economic field but also in the industrial. All of the Russian effort are now into war machine, but they don't have any reserves left. And this will collapse like the house of cards. Wait and see, and subscribe to witness that together. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and demonstrate your solidarity with likes and shares of this video. Subscribe, join our community. So let's start with the railway, but then we will talk about shipping companies and then about airlines. A lot, actually everything that you need to know about the Russian transport system. So, Russian railway monopolist reported tremendous record-breaking cargo losses. Since the beginning of 2025, they were losing 6.8% monthly, and in May it was 8.6%. But what is interesting, if you turn on thinking, you realize it's not just about the problems for the railway company that does not have enough work, that does not earn money, but this is a clear evidence they don't have cargo. And they report that these main losses are in the sphere of oil, cargo, of metallurgic products and other goods that were typically transported by the Russian railways, which is a sign that all of the Russian money now go into a war machine. Proves that Putin is not preparing for a ceasefire. He is not ready, to let 1 million of bloodthirsty Russian soldiers back. And also, this is an illustration that they are short of money because they are not able to balance, to support the war effort, but still to keep other industries alive. No, they are dying and they are killing other industries, which is a real domino effect. You do not produce some metallurgic stuff, you don't have enough demand for Russian oil, you have problems with the extraction of that oil, only expensive reserves are left, and in the result you kill this Russian railway company too, which is good. This is a sign of exhaustion, and definitely Blitzkrieg failed, and not just failed, it keeps failing all the other branches of the Russian economy. And another interesting report came this week from the largest shipping company, which has very Russian Soviet name, Sovcomflot. Oh my God. So this company is the largest Russian shipping company, and it reported tremendous losses, which are equal $393 million. Subscribe to see the collapse of the Russian economy and then the collapse of the Russian Federation itself, of course, together with Putin and his criminal gang. And share the videos. It helps to save the world from this Russian disinformation. So that Sovcomflot, that was large, successful, rich companies started losing money long ago. But this cumulative effect of sanctions finally worked to its best. And right now, in comparison to the previous year, they report 49% losses. So they have earned a half of what they had last year. And all because Russia decided they want more territories. Trust me, they will lose more territories with this approach. This war is very painful for Ukraine, but it makes us stronger, it makes us more united. But this war will turn out deadly for the Russian Federation, for their imperial myth that they keep broadcasting. Some uneducated people still believe, but those who have eyes, even if they liked Russia once, see. Russian ruble, do you want to invest in it? No. Railways now, shipping company, and perhaps my favorite topic is Russian Airlines. Well, I shouldn't say I don't advise you to travel Russian Airlines just because of the traditional negligence, but right now, first of all, Russia is a war zone. Putin wanted war, his population wanted war, they brought war home, and dozens of Russian regions are a war zone. Ukrainian drones, more and more of them, visit these dozens of Russian regions to demilitarize evil legitimate objects there. But of course, they travel and this paralyzes Russian airspace. And during this week, they had to close dozens of Russian airports, including the ones in Moscow. And that is always a very serious blow on Putin's regime. He's very much afraid of that. So literally every other day, we paralyze their airports. They are not able to travel. People are stuck in the airports, and I doubt they discuss the success of the special military operation, perhaps just the country. But even if we forget about this directly military aspect of Russian airlines problems, we will see that sanctions, they do work, especially if they continue. And it's impossible for the Russian airlines to maintain the aircraft. And one of the very first demands that Russia tried to express in the conversations with Putin was to lift sanctions from Aeroflot so that they can buy details they need. Any sane person will avoid flying Russian airlines because right now they have lost a lot of their planes because they are not able to maintain them, and they start stealing details from old ones, put them in the newer ones, and it's very, very dangerous. And also dangerous because of the work of the Russian air defense. That is a tragic part of the modern history of this violent empire. They are guilty for a number of accidents when they target civilian airplanes, starting from MH17. And I feel very sorry for people who had to go through and for all these years when Russia's lies were intoxicating courts and so on, but everybody knows the truth and now it is supported officially. And they keep targeting their own military aircraft. This also happens on a monthly basis. Recently, they destroyed 134 or something like that. So you don't fly Russian airlines if you want to live. And the most important conclusion of this video is that these are systemic problems with the Russian transport, railway, shipping, aviation, but also they demonstrate losses, serious losses in these non-military industry spheres. This destroys Russian civilian economy. This demonstrates they don't have any reserves left. They are super exhausted. And here I have to agree with Donald Trump. Putin is crazy. Remember to subscribe to demonstrate your solidarity, and also follow me on other social media like Instagram, X, Blue Sky, Threads, and Discord. The links in the description of this video, together as the link to our merch shop with lots of good items that work well as reminders and conversation starters about Ukraine. Please support our 5th NEFO campaign for the amazing Ukrainian heroes that right now send drones to demilitarize Russian evil objects. Follow me on the new channel Anna Danilchuk, where I share more about life in times of the big war from a civilian perspective. And thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channel. Thank you for standing with Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!